So Susan and I conceived of this project, and I assembled a really spectacular team that includes my postdoc Maria Santos in mechanical engineering. So she's a roboticist, works on multi-robot systems. It includes an undergraduate, a senior, Sarah Witzman, who's also a dance certificate student. And it includes Ayla Shihan, who is a PhD student in architecture, as well Catherine Wantelen, who is a master's student in computer science, who's very interested in emergent communication, in robotic perception, and connecting this with the project. So the experience of all of us working together has been kind of amazing.
For me, this project started in one of my first conversations with Naomi. We were talking about our interest on combining engineering and the arts and the rhythm bath project that she developed with Susan Marshall before. And I got super inspired by this rhythmic movement of dancers with the audience, where everybody kind of moves together and has this feeling together. So inspired by that, I started thinking about how we can apply algorithms that maybe we just conceptualize for technical reasons, such as robot coordination, for example, rhythmic motion or oscillations. How can we apply that to an art exhibit to just infer some type of emotion in the public? A lot of times people are very enticed by these multi-robot movements and how they coordinate together, but we don't normally design them to make people feel that way, but it's just a very natural bridge between what we do on the technical side and what we can achieve on the artistic side. First, we started looking at how we could use the robots we have in the lab to maybe produce these cyclic motions, but we saw the mechanical limitations of those robots, so we had to move to more a dedicated mechanical design.
So I've been working on designing the framework of the robots, and I've been trying to go with the form follows function rule, but on the other side, sometimes I prefer to have more beautiful, good-looking things, and that might compromise a little bit of the structure. It's a constant conversation and negotiation between structure and also the dynamics, mechanical side, and also the artsy side. There are a lot of iterations, and we've been making choices and improving throughout the process.
So within this project, I've primarily worked on the mechanism design for the robots and the control of getting them to be able to move. The basic design is made up of 3 linear actuators that are each pinned to a frame. We tried various different types of linear actuators. We tried servos with a kind of fishing wire spool. But we ended up on stepper actuators, and each of them at the end has a spring that's attached to the central rod that we're trying to move. And the actuators move in sync with each other or out of sync with each other, depending on how we tell them to move. And that creates the different patterns that we're looking for. So the linear actuators are all connected to a Raspberry Pi, which manages the control of each of the actuators, synchronizing them, and then also communicates with a driver computer outside of it so that all the Pis can be coordinated and commands can be sent to the entire swarm.
On my side of the project, I've been working primarily on perception, so coordinating between multiple cameras that are taking different views of the gallery space that we're in, basically allowing the robots to perceive and track the humans as they move through the space. So we have an idea of how many people there are and how they're moving and how far away. And from all of this data, I'm able to sort of collate that information to create certain movement patterns based on what the robots are observing in their space.
It's been really great to see how robotics and mechanical engineering can be applied to a wide range of fields. I never would have thought that I would be able to do a project that involves robotics and dance and in art.
It's really great to just work with such a team that has so many different skills, bringing on different perspectives into the project. It's just been a really growing experience for me.
And that'll give one more thing for our eye.
As we go forward and both Rhythm Bath and Rhythm Bots go out into the world, I'm confident that there will be new questions that arise from what we discover and what we've put into motion.